Okay, what's up YouTube? I hope you're all doing well. This is EB. It's a wonderful Saturday morning. I managed to get at least a couple of hours sleep at night. So today I posted something on my devlog for Gariax. In advertising, it's just called a sample questionnaire. So I just like to make a video about it, talking about it, what I wrote and why. So I posted it on my Twitter, said latest devlog. I amended the designs of all the females in Gariax, and I asked the audience a question: are the designs better than what it was? For those who are here, feel free to vote below. So if you are here and you see this, you can vote. So what is the amended looks like? So this is the devlog. If you click on the link, Konisua. So if you click on the link, you'll come to the post, and in the post we get to internet is slow. I shouldn't have closed that page. Here we go. So we land on the page, artwork update query to the fans, Gariax devlog 18 minutes ago. So if you notice, if you click, I don't know if you can see this, but the characters have been updated. The cheeks especially. The boobs sizes have been reduced. 2 feet, a certain style. I got feedback that, so as I talk, as I create, I get feedback from people. They had their thoughts, they had their ideas. So I thought, what I'm going to do, instead of just talking, could I do it? I took my evening yesterday night to rework all the characters and then ask the audience, do you like it this way? Because my style aside, maybe there's something I'm missing, maybe there's something I'm not seeing. So could it be better? Is my horniness affecting my character designs? This is what I postulated. I put it for guys to check out and decide. So I changed the main post, or rather I put an option where I changed the poster. This is the design for Maya, massively reduced. This is the design for Miko. This is the design for Nemo. This is the design for Olga. This is the design for, this one didn't change, that stays the way it was. This was the design for Una. And I post here, author's note. In the devlog, I will take you through my design rationale so that you get to understand the thought process behind my creations and Gariax. So it's not just about Gariax, generally how the things that I go through to design. And then later ask a simple question for you as the fan or guest to reply. So let's read this. My design philosophy. Growing up as an artist in Nairobi, it might be easy to assume that art and storytelling for me was just passing of time, a hobby and nothing more. It wasn't. In fact, that was far from it. Very early in life, I began to notice a correlation between human behavior or their psychology in relation to the products they consume, the lives they live, and the stories that they like or prefer to hear. So I started noticing anthropology. I started studying the human behavior. What they hear, watch, or want to buy. The human mind and the human choices influenced me in the carving out of my art. That was the carving out my art that was beloved by many. Just like George Lucas, by putting the basic essence of human in my work in form of virtues, morals, tales, folklore, thoughts, wants, and desires, I got a chance to immerse a massive amount of effort when tackling art that could be appreciated by many. So in short, the human relation comes first, then the art comes second. So the thought behind it comes before the actual drawing. The concept, not just drawing for the sake of it. Meaning that even before I put pen to paper to write or draw, I must first reason out the relationship between the art and the audience. I want to step out into an imaginary time machine, visit myself in the future, and see how the fans react. How they react governs how I then make the next step in my creative process. So that's just like some metaphysical thing that I do, whereby I imagine what the audience will react when I do it. Will they be happy? If so, how happy? If they'll be sad, how sad? If angry, how angry? This is a very good guide in what to do next. I think this is a skill which George Lucas had to some degree because of how he directed Star Wars. It's a skill which I know Spielberg has to some degree. Basically, if you create something cool, you want to watch it and enjoy it, just the same as everybody else. So you get to be the fun and you get to be the creative all at once. So where am I? I've lost track. Yeah, so another important thing to note is that apart from putting the fun first, so not to just you as the audience, but me as the person who wants to see the work done, I try my best to make my characters inspirational in simple ways that an ordinary person can have a chance to admire and want to be a part of. A trick I use to create is that I don't create work. I simply introduce to the world the work that I let you. So how did I put this? I simply introduce to the world work that I was let to show. I introduced to the world people, places, and things that were there. I simply show them to you. So I'm like a gateway. So something, so an alien is basically putting the hand up my ass and using me as a puppet to show me. Anyway, so my art was beyond me. I should put here was stroke is beyond me. It was beyond that. It was beyond what I wanted. It was all about them and their stories. My creations always came first as I take a back seat. Now this looks like it's counterintuitive to the statement I said whereby the idea came first. But for me here, the creation is the idea. So we don't break any rules. Anyway, so it's why my work is eclectic, without a permanent style, and always evolving. This is very important. If you look at my work, if you go to my website and you search here Komkai, you notice that there's not just one style. This looks realistic, this looks anime, this looks action comic, this looks action comic, this looks manga, this looks real, this looks action comic, this looks anime, this looks manga, this looks anime. So there's no sticking to one style. It's very eclectic. That was the point of that topic. So it's why my work is eclectic, without a permanent style, and always evolving, because I'm not in control. It's the thoughts, it's the creation, it's the process, it's the thing behind it. Anime was just one way, shape, and form I decided to deliver the package that is Gariax. There were massively more different styles and designs that I was playing with. Yes, there was. Okay, next. Advertising agency, learning to deal with the critic. So unlike my skill in understanding the world around me, I was intensely poor in my studies. This led me to be unable to attain a position in any university. But luckily, thanks to my drawing skills, I got a chance to be an intern as a visualizer, then later storyboard artist in an advertising agency. I learned on the job, getting better as my craft and skill of storyboarding helped me massively later in life. But I quickly understood that in a corporation, or rather in a corporate environment, you aren't paid to be creative. You are paid to communicate. It's very important. It's a very big difference. Advertising is not creative per se. It's communication. From the client to the audience. You're just a conduit. Concepts shot down left, right, and center. I was forcefully aligned by the system to churn not what I wanted as a creative, but to spew out only by the limits and guides of the strategy, marketing, and research department. This was not fun for me. This was not what I wanted with my life. I wanted to be free. But at the very least, my takeaway as an art director was that you must know what you are doing so that it will be easier to defend your work when the time comes. This was very important, especially when big amounts of money was involved. The client needed to know where the money was going. So a lot of thought was needed to create. Current status, my awakening. I've been out of the corporate life for about 13 years. I got a chance to create more stuff than I could ever have wanted, only to face new challenges. Not the billion-dollar client with expensive suits smelling of expensive perfume and chicken tikka, but the cool fan, the switched-on pop culture connoisseur, the citizen behind their keyboard hoping to get a gem that they can enjoy online. 99% of the time, the feedback is good. Many of the fans understand where I'm coming from. They get the limitations, they get the inspirations and the themes in my work. They get the joke. But once in a while I get massive hate. I get comments that have a visceral reaction to my work. Just 1 second, I need to amend here. I need to change. I'll change it later then. I can't see the edit button here. Get a visual. Finally, the question: are my updated designs better than the original designs? So that these are the designs that I've just shown you up here. Are they better than the original work? And I don't give my opinion. I won't until I've got the feedback. Then I'll talk. So now I won't talk until I get the feedback about my opinions on the designs. But here's what I say. Finally, the question: are my updated designs better than the original designs? Before every design, I take into account many things. Target audience, read the social, cultural, and economic room. 3, the cultural impact of the work. 4, whether the creative work has capacity to grow into other opportunities. 5, otaku culture, if in an anime or manga project. 6, what the design is saying to me. 7, do I like it? 8, does the work make me happy? 9, if the work is not liked, what's the percentage? And 10, if the work is not liked by most, what to do next? So luckily, I've never in my life needed to get to question 10. But the dynamics of modern culture make me wonder a lot about how fast things change, and a realization that this is something I might need to start asking to myself. By the time you got here, you got a chance to see the artwork that I have attached, the artwork that I have amended. I took the feedback and amended the designs of the characters to fit a less so-called rogue, less fan service direction, and I leave this question open to you as the fan. Do you like the amended character designs, or were the original designs okay? Kindly feel free to leave your comment down below. Your feedback is highly appreciated. Let's go beyond the erroneous. Now, that's it. That's the gist. In advertising, this is simply called a questionnaire. A simple test sample, what you call a test sample. So you put, you change something in your design or in your concept, post it to the audience, let them decide. Now, The idea is this. However the reaction goes, then I use this as feedback for later concept and designs. Because, look, to be honest, are the designs causing certain kinds of limitations? Yes. As much as they're opening more doors for other things, they're closing other doors for other things. And I won't talk much about that now, but all I can say is that my hope is to get as more people as possible. If it means amending the characters, we will amend. But to be 100%, I said I won't give my opinion, but let me just give my opinion. If we were to go with this direction, if you guys win, if you guys decide that this is a better look for them, then I will have to redesign them, because their proportions, in my opinion, have to be adjusted completely to fit the new character designs. Because for me, this one doesn't work. This was not what I was looking at when I drew them. Even their postures were determined by their bust sizes. So depending on the feedback, that will affect everything else. So without much further ado, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. My stomach is growling. I need to eat. Be awesome. Take care. Let me know what you think. Even in this YouTube video, what is your feedback? What do you think? If you haven't checked it out, check it out already. The webpage game is Gariax.com. Let me know what you think. Be awesome. Take care. I read through the comments, and bye bye.